Hello and welcome back to another episode here on Kapp. Today, the topic of our video is called My Best Friend Just Moved to Vegas, and here's what the hell I'm allowed to tell you about it. I was imagining that I would have this video named by Lou Barnes, number 81 on the 85 Chicago Bears, since it is the 81st video, but since it's about Vegas, I dedicate it to this hockey player that has little girls throw themselves at him. Why can't I divulge more about this interesting buddy of mine? Because in Vegas, what happens in vagueness stays in vagueness. So, we're into some pretty black arts, black ops stuff here. Did I want my buddy to move to Vegas? No. In fact, I wrote him a strong reply not to. Anything about him not liking to wear shorts, to not liking to gamble, but it didn't work, so here we are. At least I got a video out of it. I suppose I'll dedicate this video to my parents, who are finally back from their snowbirding long enough so that I can cut some darn audio and take care of my baby that they insisted I have. So without giving too much away, I'd like to take you through how I went down and ascertained this story from my buddy when he came to get his stuff out of Belleville storage shed to move out to the west. We met up at a bar called Sevens in Belleville, where this old jerk kept telling us we couldn't have real jobs, we must be a couple Nancys. Anyway, we resist attacking him, and the story was eventually able to be unfolded to me, so I was able to get through that. Here we go. If you happen to go to Las Vegas on a, air quotes, legitimate business trip or vacation, here's a few hints for your trip. 1. Get a car. Rent it. It will be worth it. Go see things that the strip, off the strip during the day. Book your hotel near wherever your drinking activity is that you want to do at night. Walk to that, drive sober around the area during the day. If you go to the east, you can see the Hoover Dam, Lake Mead, and a few more hours you can get to the Grand Canyon. After you cross the Hoover Dam and go into Mojave County, Arizona, you can get into the western end of the Grand Canyon. Before you head out on this 2-hour drive, just know you can't see the Grand Canyon when you get there. The Hualapi Indian Reservation owns this part. Unlike the south end, you can't just park and walk up to it. You would have to pay $60, then they drive you with a tour group to go see the canyon. On your way back, stop in Dolan Springs and have a drink with the locals. They'll give you all the inside info you need. North, you can get to Utah and some parks like Mount Zion. West is Mount Charleston. If you go to the south, check out Sloan Canyon. You can do anything out here from shooting guns in the desert, renting high-end sports cars, driving ATVs, dirt bikes, dune buggies, etc. Kind of Old West style within a half-hour drive of the strip. You can go meet real desert people. There are options besides gambling. You could rent heavy equipment such as bulldozers and drive them, rent motorcycles, bicycles, four-wheelers, etc. You can rent military-style guns and shoot targets in the desert if you want. You can pay to blow up a car with a rocket launcher, provided, of course, you're into such things. If for some reason you just want for your room instead of, say, eating at Gordon Ramsay's, some other fancy place, you will find out that if you order fried chicken, they put it in a paper bag here. And if you order, say, an 8-piece box, the guy behind the counter will give you a weird look and say he's never heard of that before. And let's face it, they're not eating 8 pieces of chicken at a time in the desert, I guess. This happened at more than one occasion to my friends at more than one place. They always put fried chicken in a paper bag, like you're a homeless person with a wine bottle. Of course, there's the usual stuff you see in all the movies. It's a Luxor that has the Egyptian stuff. The Excalibur is the old medieval castle-themed one. They have the knights jousting on the horses, which is kind of cool if you're into that sort of thing. But Caesar's Palace, featured in a lot of movies. Inside there you can see this statue of Cleopatra's barge, featured in movies like Beavis and Butthead Do America. Further down is stuff like Paris and the Eiffel Tower, Planet Hollywood, Sammy Hagar's Cabo Wabo for the St. Louis folks. Roller coasters, shopping, fountains, tourists, etc. Inside, tourists, gambling, fancy architecture. This is the area where the high roller money goes. Don't expect too many comps, such as parking, meals, free, or even cheap beer. A cheap domestic light beer at a place like Caesar's Palace will cost you about $8. They say ever since the mafia lost control, the freebies dried up. The card and crap tables all have like $20 minimum bets over there, and the dealers all wear classy outfits like tuxedos. There was a lady running the roulette table who stood out above the rest. She had a thick Russian accent and resembled Natasha from like Rocky and Bullwinkle cartoons. She would scream, "No more bets!" kind of like the soup Nazi in a Russian accent, and slap the table with a stick, and nobody would put down chips while the wheel was spinning. Further down it gets cheaper. The Circus is mainly a place to drop the kids off if you're so inclined to bring your children to Vegas. I mean, I'd do it if I could get away with it, but the Stratosphere has the high spinning restaurant, if you're into that. Then there's more adult areas that are, affordable, but risky. At night, there's a variety of weird shows you can attend. Everything from the old classics like Cher, Barry Manilow, and you got the magic people like Penn and Teller, Chris Angel, and others. New weirdos like Lady Gaga. I mean, you're supposed to guess if she was born with a penis or not, I guess. Cardi B, things like Boys to Men, stuff you don't even think of as relevant anymore. Then there's the Paradise. It's a little rough over there. You kind of got to walk between the Hard Rock Casino and the Silver Sevens to get there. It's just not quite South Chicago or East St., but you might run into some shady characters over there. You might run into a scruffy-looking dude who claims to know the secret of sports gambling and gives it to you on this piece of paper here. Strange stuff. Some tourists around here is the Atomic Testing Museum and the Pinball Hall of Fame. Between the main strip and north to Fremont, you have the wedding chapels, etc. Then there's the Pawn Stars store, all that kind of stuff. Fremont Street and the Mob Museum are down here. It's less expensive than the main strip and more freaks. If you keep going, you'll eventually hit Extraterrestrial Highway to Area 51, which there's nothing to see there since they moved all the flying saucers out of there. For some additional weirdness, check out Fremont Street, where there's a few off the beaten path type places. The Gold Spike has a giant chess set and beer pong, roller disco. Check out Hogs and Heifers if you want hot girls yelling at you in megaphones. A place that was recommended is called the Container Park, that has giant praying mantis that shoots fire. Well, if you enjoy that, you probably enjoy the sound of screaming children too. Anyway, the street performers have to sign some sort of paperwork just to be there. Technically, they're not supposed to ask for money, but there's tip jars. It's kind of assumed. It's just to keep people from standing there begging. Also, there's some of the performers there actually rent their costumes. Also wanted to quickly cover North Vegas, but there's really not a reason to go there unless you want to watch a NASCAR event, or if it was 50 years ago and you wanted to watch them test nuclear bombs or something. Anyway, to wrap up on Sin City here, it appears that Vegas is a lot like any place else, except maybe, just a little weirder. And even as I'm finishing up editing this Vegas Confidential video, just to give you a little gravy here, my buddy texts me in the middle of the night because he's out with my friends from St. Louis playing roulette with some midget frickin' wrestlers. Vegas, baby. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Especially concerned about the subscribing. Gonna go ahead and have my baby beg you to subscribe, and then my dog. Thanks for watching. The end. Take care.